sounds like terrible.
You name
right. You're tuned to WFMU Freeform Radio at 91.1 FM or online at WFMU.org. You're listening to the Bonce Later. I'm your host, DJ Bonce, and that was Stice. Stice. From Brooklyn, New York? Yeah, from Brooklyn, New York City. And now I'm talking with the members. If y'all could just introduce yourselves.
I'm Caroline.
I'm Jake.
It's John.
All right. There's a beautiful pan flute over there. I don't even. And now a balloon is happening. There's a lot of the music continues. So, if you could talk a little bit about how you guys met, maybe. How did you start as a project? You guys have been doing this since 2018. Am I right? Or
yeah, 2018. It started as a conversation between Caroline and I one winter evening. We were both sort of bummed out about the state of our bands at the time. Not the music that the bands were playing, but more just the feeling of not playing like high intensity music, which we both kind of had done in the past. And we're kind of in, I don't know how you'd even describe it. It was,
I just wanted to be in a harder band.
yeah. We want to have a little more fun, wanted people to be able to jump up and down, and we weren't really getting that from the projects we were in. It was one of those rare conversations of let's start a band that kind of worked.
And then how did John get into the mix?
We needed him because he's very good at it.
Because you guys weren't always a three-piece. On your recordings, I'm guessing it's just the two of you, right?
It's just the two of us. The albums have always just been Caroline and I, and we've started inviting lots of collaborators, but that's somewhat new. The first two records were almost exclusively just the two of us. But we played with a drummer for the first time in maybe like 2021 or 2022, and it kind of felt like we couldn't go back after that, live at least. And Johnny is an incredible addition to our band. We are big fans of his, and he's a brilliant young lad. Fresh-faced from Arizona. He just moved here about 10 minutes ago.
Like him. We love him. He's so cool. Look at his haircut.
It's a great haircut.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, especially with your first two releases, because more than music, you guys have always had, I think, like a strong video art element and just art element in general. I mean, your album art is crazy for like pretty much every record. And I know that you guys released a new album that had, I think, a music video or two, but those first two, like the very best of Stice and was it Pass the Baton? What was the second album?
Here Comes the Baton.
Here Comes the Baton. Yeah, you guys had like a video.
The baton. No less on that come.
You guys had like a video for every single song.
I know.
How was that?
But I had time to do things. And this is the first album where I let other people make videos, and that's fine. I like to do it. And I'm sorry that I'm a jerk about it. Sorry.
I don't think anyone's calling you a jerk here.
I've never called Caroline a jerk. It's amazing. It's amazing to have it all done in-house. All the flyers for the shows and the album art, and pretty much every time we need anything, Caroline just gets it done. And she has an incredible New England-style work ethic.
That's a true thing about New England-style work ethic.
More than the New York work ethic?
What work ethic?
Did I stutter?
No, there's just something about, I think that we both kind of, because I'm from Maine and she's from Massachusetts, there's like a little bit of this, just like, oh, you just grind it out and work until you're in pain and just...
Never have been in pain. And Starks has that amazing Arizona work ethic, which is dry like a throat.
I mean, I think it shows, considering that you guys have put out now 5 albums and I think a couple of other kind of like minor releases. And didn't you guys have like another project called Turbo World or something?
Jake and I were in a band called Turbo World that has since dispatched. It's been disbarred.
It's been debarred.
Debunked. Yeah. They proved the band false. Reality.
I think, Jake, you're in another band right now, right?
I am. I play synthesizer in the rock band Gorilla Toss.
Okay, how did that come about?
It was kind of through a mixture of Stice and Turbo World. It was like Stice had played a show with Gorilla Toss, and we kind of like reconnected. I've been a fan of them for a long time, and then Turbo World had opened for Gorilla Toss, and kind of like I played keys in that band, and I think they kind of just saw that, and I was sort of like sliding into their DMs a little bit. And the timing worked out really well.
Don't start something to say.
I enjoy playing songs very much. Yes, to try heat.
Thank you to naturalreaders.com for that.
And would you say, because I've never listened to Gorilla Toss, I tried to...
Get out!
It's pronounced girl toss. I'm sorry.
Was it how's it?
It's pronounced. It's like a gorilla.
Like a gorilla. Like the animal, like you do with a football.
Wait, to toss a I'm confused.
Oh, I wonder why you're saying that.
Gorilla toss? But how do the energies compare? Because I've always, loved Stice recordings because of just like the insane production and sampling, and there's so much going on, and I feel like your sound has evolved a lot over the years. Do you think that maybe some of the influence from playing in other bands has leaked into the Stice sound a bit, or have you kind of kept true to whatever vision you have?
For me, surprisingly, not really. The production side of this has always been kind of just like a mess of all the stuff that I like and the sounds that I like. And I mean, I certainly took making this record a little bit more seriously in terms of like getting the sound right. I think it sounds better than anything we've ever done. But generally, not particularly. Kind of like I feel like our projects all kind of stay separate.
Caroline, are you involved in any other musical projects, or would you say this is your main?
I don't know. I'm not really doing anything else musically.
Now, with the new album that y'all have out, 13 Tales of Depravity, there are only 10 tracks.
What?
Did you guys miss a couple, or?
The distributor must have lost the other 3 tracks. This is horrible.
Oh no.
Big conspiracy.
Somebody's going to die.
Someone's not even losing a job. They are dying because 3 precious Stice tracks are missing, allegedly.
Been the ones that were going to make us successful.
I feel like a lot of your albums end up having or a couple of them have had a theme. Do you had one called the Satyricon, which is that based off of the movie, or the?
It's the most thematic album I've done, and the music videos were the most thematic. And I guess they were all based on Felivi Satyricon. And other things do have a theme, I guess, but that one is the strongest theme.
And that one ended up, you screened those videos at a theater, right? In
Spectacle Theater.
In Williamsburg. How was that? Do you think like there's a difference? I mean, I don't know how much the internet has informed either your music or aesthetics or like your fan base, but do you feel like there was was that an interesting experience of having your videos, which usually were hosted online, be hosted like in person at a theater?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That's a cool theater that we have friends who've really been cool to be there. That's a cool theater. Everyone should go to it, and having screened there was cool and awesome.
It was a pretty big honor. We sold it out just barely.
All 25 seats sold out. No, 40. No, it's 30. I think I actually counted once it's 30 because there's 6.
I thought it was 50. I think.
No, it's 6.
We packed it out. We packed it out. We always packed out. It was sold out. It was blown out. It was.
Shh.
Supportive. People have been very supportive of this band. That's kind of why we've kept going for so long. We started with obviously we started with no fan base, but we weren't playing shows. We've never really been much of like a touring band, or we haven't really been, pushed Stice on that many people. I feel like a lot of people have come to this band kind of naturally, and a lot of it is through the internet, which is great because we're not neither of us are too deep in the internet. We're not hanging out on forums or whatever, but people have found our music through whatever means and have been very encouraging. It feels really nice.
I always wish I could break my leg and spend more time on forums. There's a bunch of things I would like to do, one of which is to spend more time on forums. But yeah, I'd like to see what's going on in there. I've heard a couple of things about some communities and their practices, their lengthening practices.
We're trying to get as lengthened as possible.
It's all about length. Ah!
Well, you talk about not performing that much or not being much of a touring band, but you guys put out a live album, I think a year ago, right? Live at Asbestos Farm, was it?
Yeah, that was the last show. That was a tour that we had, and I don't really like touring, but that's okay.
Yeah, that was our last tour with our first drummer Max. He wrote some amazing drum parts, and the last show he just we got some mics together and we made that recording, and that tour was when we kind of realized like, oh, touring for Stice is a little bit tough. It's really hard on Caroline's voice. She got sick and she got poisoned. Someone tried to kind of murder her spiritually, physically too. I guess, yeah. But yeah, I love that record, and it's like the perfect. Max spent a lot of time kind of perfecting the sound and making it like the exact representation of how the band sounded at that point. And I'm really glad that exists.
Asbestos Farm and the whole Western Mass region.
So you talk about how challenging I guess it is to you guys don't perform. I remember years ago you guys did like an acoustic set, right? Or were you doing those like street shows?
I kind of meant to say we should definitely do an acoustic set, but we should do one song today. Yeah, acoustic sets are just like fun because you don't need any instruments, and it can be kind of whatever. And I think it's just kind of fun because it's just me sometimes, and I like it because I don't have to do anything. I don't have to listen to anybody, and it's really funny. And I think it really gets at some people in a good or bad way.
I think what's been fun about the acoustic sets is that, at least for me personally, like I mix all these records myself, so I like so deeply in my soul I like learn the lyrics to these songs, and specifically like the rhythm of the lyrics. So the original idea was just that like I would just play like a noise for every lyric, like kind of just following along, like pretty much like one-to-one the lyrics to varying results. And then we started that was kind of when we started collaborating with other people, because we were like, it doesn't matter if this is good, it doesn't matter if you know the songs at all, like Caroline's just going to do her thing and people will be impressed by that. So we kind of just started being like inviting people to play along with these sets, and we're like basically told them nothing, and we're like, you just figure it out, like nothing you could do could possibly be wrong, so just kind of like get silly on it, have some fun, fall in love.
This one was definitely just me and John Stark, so without you, no offense. We kept our backpacks on. we kept our backpacks on, and it was really funny. And you played the recorder? Oh, I forgot about that. Play the recorder now. Play the pan flute.
Like one of each.
That's cool.
Best actual acoustic set was when it was just me and John, and Caroline was sick, but we didn't tell the audience, and we kept just making sure everyone was like clearing out of the way because Caroline was about to come in the room, but it was mostly just waiting. And
I never came.
That was also a backpack on set.
Was it really? Cool.
Could you talk a bit about I guess how it's been like performing your project or evolving your project in a city like Brooklyn, and then going that tour and finding new audiences? Because I feel like the sound you have, I mean, it's kind of unlike anything else I've heard in like that kind of, I don't know, New York, Brooklyn, Bushwick electronic
that's so nice.
scene. I feel like it's very unique. And then unlike any other kind of smaller, like more DIY scenes I've seen in other parts of the country, like you guys are super experimental and I think genre melding. Or could you talk about maybe some of your influences, either inspire you musically or lyrically?
You know, I love mindless self-indulgence, and I know what they did. Maybe lyrically, but I think especially like vocal performance. And I'm a big Mike Patton fan. I'm into these guys.
Where do the lyrics come from? I feel like your lyrics are super kind of like I don't know, aggro, feminine. There's a lot of vulgar, a lot of like allusions to body parts I can't talk about on air.
Whoa, well, my intention was to be good and pure and kind. I don't know. I watch a lot of movies. I watch a lot of TV. And that lyrically, I don't have like a biggest influence lyrically, but I don't know. There's definitely a lot of people like who do a good job. Actually, wait. Let me shout out to my parents, because my parents bet on the radio, and my mom is a poet. Not an influence on me at all, because she writes about birds and turtles. dad was a radio DJ and my mom had a poetry slot. Sorry, what? Yeah, sorry. And that was a Worcester radio thing.
Yeah, there are a lot of good people doing a lot of good things. That's usually my answer when someone asks my influences. Sorry, Caroline's great. Wait, what? Yeah, we both had a lot of the same sort of like cultural references growing up. We both watched a lot of The Simpsons. We both watched a lot of movies and TV shows. And I feel like we kind of just try to like melt all of that into like a big pool. For me, there was like a big turning point because I was always into electronic music in college, but wasn't really like, I didn't know too much about it. I was just like, oh, I guess I like have been to a couple clubs, and I thought that was all kind of cool, but I didn't really know much about it. And then we went to see our friend Lizzie Davis, who performs as Wilted Woman, play. I don't think you weren't there, but it was like you're doing a DJ set, and she dropped this French gabber song called Beam Beam by Evil Grimace, and that like completely changed my life. I'd never heard anything like that before. It was like I'd never heard because I'd never really heard hardcore or like like gabber or anything like that. And like everybody at the club just went insane. People were going completely crazy, and I was really stoked on that. And then Stice kind of went in the more like hardcore direction. I think we got a little faster. That was on like in between the first and second records, so I got really into that kind of thing. And a lot of just regular hardcore.
Anything to say on any future projects? I mean, I know you guys just put out an album, and I think had an album release show. Do you plan on playing any more shows going forward?
No, I'm gonna be a nurse, so I don't know what I'm gonna be able to do. I'm studying for the NCLEX currently, which is like the board exams. NCLEX, NCLEX. So I'm done. Just kidding, but I can't really tour.
This is our last set.
No, don't make that joke every day.
We pray. No, we're gonna start working on a new record pretty soon. Which usually the way that works is just I spend about a year making a big. I spend about a year in my bedroom on my computer, and then we start sending stuff back and forth. And Caroline just kind of writes all the stuff, and then we really like the collaboration aspect of Stice. Really is only about like 4 or 5 days of the like many days that we spend making the music. But today we decided in the car that we have 2 songs already mostly written. And so we're basically already done. And that's it. Game over. Game over for us.
Any parting words to the WFMU radio listening public? Words of wisdom, words of anything?
If you want tea berry gum, you just get winter mint, Orbit winter mint, and then I think you add just one other thing, and then it's basically tea berry gum. I feel like I've been trying to think about what that third thing is.
Thanks so much to Bonce and WFMU for having us, and to our engineers. And we're so honored to be here. This is so cool. We love WFMU. We love stickers, bumper stickers.
And I don't know what that is. Those were Stark's parting words? What is your parting words? No. Okay.
Well, we still got some more songs, right?
Some extra songs.
All right. And with that, you are listening to Stice live at a Studio B, WFMU 91.1 FM, WFMU.org. I'm DJ Bonce. This is the Bonce Letter. Stay tuned for more Stice.
Religiously, I could never acclimate, never got the smell out of my snout. And I read the hymn, look what you did. You dug a hole in my friend and gave up a little dog, you got a star, you got a soul's my head. I wanna jump you back, man. I know just what I meant. I want to love
suck it up in traffic.
Hey, you wanna crash it? I got it like a rabbit. Just had an accident, go itch, have her across the back.
Gee whiz, oh, you still can't grab it.
Hey, let's just up for a second, I'm about to put it back on the runway. Shut up, when I pass you, have bad work, a place you'll never see anyway. Hey, wanna leave back out, back almost up to the top, my TikTok. Hey, when I get it up, all these must have you feel like my name. If I'm gonna lose my life, don't turn so quick, put off his skin. If I'm gonna crash my car, it'll be from giving you bad head. Hey, if you're gonna be that troll, I guess I'd rather be dead. Okay, my legs to the wall, my rash got buried into your red. Just had an accident, go itch, have it from the past. Don't push the water, just kick off the beach. Hospital, back again, from bridge, driving catch again. Won't push the car, that cracked my ass.
Okay, we have one more. We're gonna do an acoustic song, which means no backing track. And it also means I start it. Is that correct?
Yes,
I start singing it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Wrong, caught you the punchline. Ever so fat with a big, bold, cold, gold line. Languidly out of my mind. And if you have the time, wrapped up out of my big bedtime. Hi, sucker punch, littlest fly. Little big, give me the tile. Sudafed, give me that, it's mine. Standing on the noodle line, wrong line. Cheesy, breezy, steezy, stuffed up, couple this, what's all this? Then I don't know, but I've been told you can never have enough big, really big. Yes. Finally, something has opened your head. Finally, all that you live for is dead. What is this stuff coming out of my head? Ash really colored it red. You can believe because you are not dead. She said. Suck your kidneys and screw your pets. Yes, that's what I said. That's what I meant. Holy shit. Look at my lips. Look at my kiss. I'm eating shit. Yes, who I do a big black dog. Licking it up. I need a big cup. Chewing it up. Hey, that's enough. Yeah, Grable. Sucking your stuff and calling it maple. Up to the other table. Where? Bye, baby. Yes, I don't know what I meant. But he said, let's just be friends. Ooh. I did a twisty, giving it out, giving it 50%, making it wet. Squeaky, I was freezing again. Ooh, creepy crawly.
What's a little polly dog? You sucking hair and leather fine.
Your partner by the wall.
Okay, I'm a song, but I hear the baby falling. We are so sick of it. Baby's gonna eat the dog, take it off. This is the tone, then gonna laugh or take a shelter, but not gonna let it help her skeleton.
1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me what I'm crying for. Whisper down his sliding door.
Aw, that's cute.
That's loose. Shut up. I forgot you from the hook. But don't look. You looked. You suck. And that's it.
Whoa.
Wow, you got it.
Thank you.
All right, and that was Stice live Studio B here at WFMU 91.1 FM or online at wfmu.org. I'm DJ Bonce. You're listening to the Boncelator. Once again, thank you so much, Stice, for playing an awesome set. Stay tuned for more music.